Hello everyone. Today I'm going to go through the process of taking apart this computer and replacing the water blocks on one of the 3090. I'm going to be fast forwarding through this video to get through it as quickly as possible. First, we're going to drain the water from the loop. This loop has a valve at the bottom as well as some caps up top that I can open up to let some airflow in. And yes, we have to tilt the computer to get the liquid out from time to time. This computer probably weighs upwards of 50 pounds, so it's pretty heavy with all the water blocks. All right, real quick now, I'm pointing to the 3090 Ti, the 2080 GPU there. The 3090 has the Phanteks. Okay, that's an NVMe cooler, complete waste of money, completely useless. I don't recommend it. It even leaked on me. So let's start draining the loop. And now I'm going to go in and cut the tubing with this pipe cutter. I found this to be the fastest way to do this. I was losing a lot of time, and I figured I don't need the tubing. I'm replacing it anyway, so I just cut it. All right, let's take the 3090 out. This is the 3090. That's on the Phanteks Waterblock. Yep, Phanteks Strix block, and here I'm fast forwarding the removal. All right, so let's go ahead. Take off the back plate, and this is the main reason I want to get rid of it. The back plate was pretty terrible. Memory temps was hitting over 100. Okay, took off the front plate. Let's just clean it up. And my favorite part, cleaning the GPU. So we got to get the thermal paste off of the GPU die itself, and then also with alcohol, get any debris off of the, I guess, memory chips as well as these power. I think these are power related chips there. All right, let's just clean everything off. And this 3090 has memory chips on the back, and this is what was causing the temperature issues. So let's clean that off so I can put the new back plate on it. So in the prior video, I talked about the new Optimus 3090 uh, water block that I got. So I'll be installing that in this video. And this is what the new back plate looks like. That, what you see there, that gray blob, is a thermal pad, a ginormous thermal pad. I mean, it's pretty insane. All right, let's put some thermal pads on the front, and of course, thermal paste on the GPU die itself. This is Kingpin paste that came with the block itself, so it was bundled in. I usually use Thermal Grizzly, Cryonaut, stuff like that, but this came with the water blocks. I decided to use it. All right, so I used a spatula to spread it evenly across, and yeah, there you go. All right, now I have to, yeah, I fast forwarded a lot here. We put the, what is that, the back plate? Yeah, the back plate and the front. Yeah, this is the back plate we're screwing on top after placing the board on top of the front plate. And it was a pretty easy installation. It was definitely easier than the Phanteks block that I had. And this is much more heavy duty. I mean, there's no question about it. This thing is a beast. All right, so now we have to get back and just continue clipping our way to the rest of the water block, which, again, I was super proud of this thing when I first put it together, but now that I see it like this, it looks pretty ugly with this Tygon tubing. There's a lot of metal fittings here and yeah, let's take that out. Let's take out the 2080, and this is with a heat killer uh, GPU block. I love this block. It looks so cool. So what I'm going to do this time around is I'm going to mount it vertically to showcase the RGB on this one. All right, back to the Optimus. I'm just putting the fittings on this one, and I'm using Optimus um, compression fittings. These things are amazing. I will only buy Optimus fittings from now on. It's so much better than Bits Power and the other ones. All right, so as I mentioned, we're going to vertically mount the 2080 with the Heat Killer 4 water block, and it takes a while. Took me a little bit of time to get this right. It was a little hard to align the bolts on that vertical riser. All right, now the 3090 goes in. Again, that's on an Optimus water block. I'm going to put it regular mounting, horizontally mounted. It does not have any RGB, so figured no point in vertical putting this as a vertical riser. So yeah, this thing's pretty heavy. Notice the GPU bracket on the side that's holding up that very heavy water block. All right, now I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to do the tubing. I've noticed the Optimus threadripper CPU block. That thing is huge. It's larger than a deck of playing cards. It is just a massive chunk of metal. All right, now I'm gonna, yeah, I start fitting now the nice rubber tubing that I got from, I actually bought it at Micro Center. This tubing is really fantastic. I love it. It's the EK Loop ZMT soft tube. It's matte black. It looks very professional. I was very happy as I put this together. It looked pretty good. All right. So let's see. It's pretty easy to put on too. It was not difficult. It looks very clean and fits perfectly with the Optimus compression fittings that I bought. All right, so we make that nice and tight. It really just holds the tube in place. But here, so I had a bunch of metal fittings coming down because I was working with that Tygon before and it was not very flexible. I simplified everything by using this soft tubing instead. The ZMT zero maintenance tubing really is a lot easier to work with, easier to attach, and it just looks so much better. So here I have a rotary adapter. I'm trying to remember why I had that there. I don't know if I needed to. Okay, I kind of think I didn't need that rotary adapter, but for some reason I had it attached. So anyway, you can see it's rotating there. I get sometimes worried that might be a source of leaks in the future. All right, so just cut to fit essentially, and this is the old Bits Power, um, the Bits Power adapter there. Definitely would recommend the Bits Power Ultimate adapters that has a couple of extra teeth to hold the tubing in place. The regular Bits Power ones I guess don't have enough grip. All right, so working with this case, it's so dark I had to use the flashlight to actually see what I was doing. I'm just fast forwarding here to save time. All right, now it's time to fill the loop. So I'm putting in distilled water. You can see the reservoir filling up as I do that. I run the pump using this spare, definitely overkill 1000 watt PSU. You definitely did not need that to run run the pump. It was definitely overkill, but that's all I had on hand. You want to do that to just make sure that there are no leaks. I tested this for about 24 hours overnight. Make sure there was nothing leaking before I actually plugged it in to my regular 1600 watt PSU. So there you go. Water's bubbling. Wow, that looks so good. I love it. And then we ran out of water. I had to shut that off as quickly as possible. All right, let's add some more water so that we can start flushing out or I guess really filling up the, the, the loop here. All right, now there was a lot of trapped air, so that's why we have all these little micro bubbles. You can see the bubbles making its way through the CPU block as well as the GPU block. That's perfectly normal. I just want to make sure we get uh, good circulation. Everything looks clean. No leaks. That's the most important thing. And that bubble there, we can get that out by tilting the computer later. Man, there's some crud in this water block. I didn't feel like cleaning it. My thermals are looking good. It's not affecting the temperature at all, so I just left it the way it is. It looks ugly, but whatever. I'm the only one looking at this thing, so it's fine. Oh, that's a D5 pump I had on the reservoir. And here's the underside of the 3090 Optimus block. You see some air bubbles. Again, not concerned right now. I'm just trying to get the water flowing, and do some initial testing, make sure there's no leaks. All right, next step, we have to plug in the power cords to the GPU. So I had a couple of extra cords. I'm going to push those to the side. So I'm going to go ahead now and plug everything in. And now I'm plugging in the D5 pump directly into the PSU that's in the case. And now, again, I ran it on the other PSU for 24 hours. There were no leaks, so I'm going to go ahead and see if it turns on. It turned on. Got some RGB in the heat killer GPU block. That looks pretty good. I have some ugly, ugly Noctua fans there. Oh, those things look hideous. And it posted, and let's see. I'm gonna boot to Windows this time. Let's give it a second for it to load up. And success. 2:30 in the morning, January 1st, New Year's Day. This is how I brought in the new year. Working on the computer, working on the water block. Loved it. Favorite way to start the year.
There you have it, folks. Team Voltron. Stay tuned for more. Make sure to subscribe and click that like button if you want to see more of this content.